This video is about USA-based options for building printed circuit boards for electronics hobbyists like me. I had two different USA-based companies build boards to see how well they suit my needs. Spoiler alert, even without the tariffs on China, both are interesting low-cost options if you need a small number of small boards and are not in a hurry. With the tariffs, they are even more useful. Here are the boards. The tiny one on the right was built by DK Red, a service that appears to be associated with DigiKey, a reliable electronics component supplier that I have used in the past. This simple board is intended to be an easy way to use 4 LEDs on a breadboard. The board on the left is larger and was made by Osh Park. It Charlie plexes 20 LEDs. I made a video about Charlie plexing, link below. Previously, I always used PCB Way to make my boards because they were the first company I tried, and I've always been happy with their prices, quality, and service. But PCB Way is located in China, and the current tariffs are starting to be passed on to consumers, increasing my costs. Of course, these tariffs keep changing. I don't know what their impact will be in the future. So I decided to branch out and try the two USA-based PC board makers. So, how do they compare with each other and with PCB Way? Note that I am not sponsored by any of these companies. I'm just a satisfied customer of all three. DK Red sent me 6 of the little boards for only $2.55. This is the total price. That's very cheap, but this is a truly tiny board. I expected 4 boards, but got 6, perhaps because they are so small. It was 14 days from ordering to receiving the boards on my doorstep. Osh Park sent me 3 of the larger boards for $13.25 in 17 days. I rate my experience with both companies as good, but with limited options for status updates. Also, the Osh Park board contains sharp burrs that you probably want to file off. Both boards were easy to solder and work fine. There were no problems. In fact, here are the boards in action. The Charlie plexing Osh Park board is using 4 spare pins to conventionally drive the LEDs on the DK Red board. My understanding is that Osh Park and DK Red are very different from PCB Way. They don't actually build your PCBs. For their lowest cost options, they gather a bunch of orders for small PCBs and then have another board maker build them all onto one large PCB. Then they cut apart the big PCB and ship your small PCBs to you. Both companies offer additional services. Look at their websites, links below. I'm focusing on the cheapest options only. You don't get to choose many options like board thickness, but I think this is okay for most hobbyist boards. I've always used PCB Way's defaults anyway. Here's a table with some information. Some key points. Osh Park and DK Red offer free shipping to the USA. With PCB Way, shipping usually costs more than the boards, and the cheap shipping options are pretty sketchy. PCB Way's minimum price for boards is $5 for boards up to 10 by 10 centimeters, and you get at least 5 boards for that $5 total, and often far more if the boards are small. I uploaded the tiny LED board to PCB Way, and I could get 40 of them for $5. That's 12.5 cents per board. If you need more than 3 or 4 instances of your board, PCB Way has an advantage. And here's a table of 3 different sized boards priced from all 3 companies. Note PCB Way's prices don't include the tariffs and tariff handling related fees. I don't know what they would be now, and the situation keeps changing. You may need to go further into the ordering process with PCB Way in order to know the total price. The bottom line is that Osh Park and DK Red are great choices if you need a small number of small-sized boards. For small boards, they are cheaper than PCB Way, even without tariffs. But if your boards are larger or you need more of them, PCB Way might be cheaper even with the tariffs, and even when using the higher-priced, more reliable shipping options. All 3 easily handle Gerber files produced by KiCad, and all 3 offer some instructions on how to generate the Gerbers. It's not hard. Let me know in the comments if you want to see a video showing how to order a board. I find it amazing that we live in a world where you can design your own PCBs using free tools like KiCad, and then have them built and sent to you in a couple of weeks for prices that are so low that you might do it just to teach yourself how. That's why I built my first board. I recommend it. I'll end this video here. Thanks for watching.